Thank you for coming today to join my mother, my sister, me, in remembering my father, Tae Won-ho. As many of you know, my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer 2 years ago, and we anticipated this day to come much sooner than it did. We are grateful for the time we were able to share with him these last 2 years. It's strange that although we know that death is imminent for all of us, we spend much of the time together for granted. These 2 years since my dad's diagnosis has been a gift to our family in a very strange way. When the days are numbered, the time spent together are with heightened awareness, paying attention to every detail, not wasting a moment, cherishing the little things. Because you don't know if it'll be your last together. My dad has taught me so much in these last 2 years about who he was. His passing reflected how he lived, with quiet reserve, contentment, generosity, and selflessness. These qualities left a gentle impression on anyone he met. Always courteous, warm-hearted, and thoughtful. Even the nurses in the hospice commented on how polite and thankful he was, always with a smile on his face, even though he must have been in tremendous pain. Even when he gave up his ambitions to help support his father and his young brothers during a difficult time, he never complained. He was unconditionally devoted to his family, placing their needs before his own. His undying love for my mother was a source of inspiration. My dad didn't talk much of his youth, but when Sheila visited Korea years ago, she was overwhelmed by the display of love and respect his friend showed my dad, even after almost 30 years of not seeing him. He was a man of few words, but when he spoke, it was usually either necessary or true, but always kind. I remember one of his teachings as a child: if you don't have something nice to say about someone, don't say anything at all. And he never had a bad thing to say about anyone. He understood the power of words and used them wisely. His imparted wisdom on life continues to guide Sheila and I today. He could also be incredibly funny. Many of his friends would often tell me, "Your dad is a comedian." He had the gift of resolving tense moments with humor. Sheila and I remembered how often he would get my mother to laugh, even in the midst of her scolding us. He always made you see the bright side of things. He could even make 2 weeks of hot dog ramen, which was the only thing he could cook at the time of our childhood when my mother went to visit Korea, seem like a gourmet meal. You could always count on him to be there for you no matter what. There was nothing too inconvenient when it came to family or friends. Whether it was driving us to school early in the morning if we had missed the bus, driving us halfway across the country to college, always knowing that he'll be at the airport to pick you up, or cooking for days to prepare the perfect bowl of komtang with suyuk to comfort a family member or friend experiencing a hard time. But his great gift was how he made people feel. His gentle and kind nature was felt by everyone. Even animals were always attracted to him, even if he didn't really care for them. A great writer, Maya Angelou, once wrote, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." We will always remember my dad for how he made us feel. His warm, encouraging smile, the firm squeeze of the hand, his openness and affection, the minam, Haduk master, the comedian, loving husband, Appa, Habi, dedicated brother, generous friend, a kind and gentle soul, a man of integrity and grace up to his final day. We will miss you dearly.
네, 감사합니다.